Jazz head man Quinn Snyder said this after the big Hayward move since my arrival to Utah. Gordon gave his best every day we were together. I'd like to personally wish him well as he and his family move on with his career. As we move forward, we'll continue to focus our attention on the place that is most needed and wanted, our players and the entirety of the Jazz organization. So what is the focus of where the Jazz go from here? Here's their general manager, Dennis Lindsay.
Well, certainly, look, you can't ignore the impact of a talent like Gordon, and then not only the talent, but the maturity and the growth. And again, that's a credit to Gordon and our staff and the organization. It took him a while to get to this level. And so with that said, Rudy Gobert, we believe, is the best center in the NBA. We think Ricky Rubio is going to be a 2017 facsimile of Jason Kidd. Rodney Hood can be a primary scorer. So we'll start there. Derek Favors is now healthy. He's a unique defender as well at the 4 and the 5. We have some good young guards that we feel really good about. So, look, it's time for us to pivot. It's time for us to move on.
All right, move on. We will. There's this game that all of you have played. We love it, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, and we'll get there because we should. But let's start with Gordon Hayward because there are so many different teams that were affected and players and free agents were affected, and obviously you're going to start kind of where Hayward is. And with the Celtics now, the difference between how they looked before they had Hayward and after, how much closer to Cleveland do you think that they are now, Rick?
Closer. Look, they were the Eastern Conference regular season champions, so I don't know how much higher they get there. What they now have to figure out is how to get past these guys in the playoffs. And what Gordon brings is a scoring threat, number one, to add to another number one in Isaiah Thomas. And with that, we'll create opportunities for the rest of the supporting cast to offensively be more effective because the attention won't have to be on them.
All right, we're giving you a chance to jump in and asking you on Twitter to jump in on a poll. Will Gordon Hayward be enough for the Celtics to overcome the Cavs? You can vote later in the show. We'll let you know how you're doing. Now, the Jazz need to move on. You heard their GM, Dennis Lindsay, talking about it. Rodney Hood and others could step up. He mentioned Derek Favors. Maybe they try and get a Jay Crowder, but with the Kings and, more importantly, the Nuggets and the T-Wolves making huge strides going forward, are the Jazz in danger of dropping out of the playoff race entirely without Hayward?
Well, as it stands today, yes. But look, a summer of workout by the young players that the GM pointed to, they're going to get an opportunity to shine. They're going to get more shots. They're going to get more minutes. They're going to get a chance. Free agency is not completely done yet. We know there's always opportunities to bring in players through trades. So I have to think now the pivot is to getting back to work to building this team for 2017-18, and it's going to take a few more players and a few more moves.
All right, let's go down to Miami because the Miami Heat, they were in it. Pat Riley, obviously very convincing. Gordon Hayward was impressed by what he saw. They brought back waiters today. Maybe James Johnson next to kind of fill out at least what they have.
Yes. Look, they had a second half to last year's run where they proved that the youth there could get it done. It was a huge turnaround from a slow start. A lot of it had to do with Waiters' emergence as a leader. But look, James Johnson had a lot to do with that too. So look, there's some players there that if they decide, okay, now you know what, we're going to stay in-house, we're going to reward these guys and build from within, and maybe go back at this next year. Summer of hard work, get in the gym and improve.
I'll tell you what, it puts Rudy Gay in the crosshairs, and this is a guy with high upside if he's healthy. We know he's got the ability to score. He's done it, and when you look at Miami, perhaps Utah, a bunch of teams in now, and without Gordon Hayward available, this is kind of, if you're looking for a 3, this is the guy right now.
Yeah, but surprisingly for me so far, I mean, Gordon Hayward's been off the board now for a day, and I thought I'd hear a little more buzz about Rudy landing somewhere. It seems like Otto Porter, his situation as a small forward was being solidified, whether or not he was going to move on to the Nets or stay with the Wizards. So, Rudy's skills are definitely, of service for someone. It's where is that going to be, and is it going to be in a place like Miami?
We talked about the bottom of the West. Clearly, there is seemingly a spot open at least now. Who stands out to you? Is it Minnesota bringing in Butler and Teague to that mix? Denver gets Millsap. Who in the West kind of stands out making that jump maybe into this mix?
Well, considering my power poll as of a couple days ago. I slid the Clippers out, and then they got Danilo Gallinari. So now I'm thinking, okay, let's slide them back in. They're talking to Rose. They're talking to maybe adding an individual like that at a point guard position. So I think they can reap the benefits with a couple more days of free agency and decision making. Maybe the Clippers can bounce back in.
All right, favorite Kevin Bacon movie?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Few Good Men.
Few Good Men. Yeah.
Tremors.
Mystic River.
The Woodsman.
Footloose.
The Air Up There.
Apollo 13. The
Oh,
Air
yeah,
Up
JFK.
The
Yeah,
Air Up
that's
There.
right. The basketball
really?
movie.
You're dropping in the Air Up There?
Yeah, we're on NBA TV.
All right.